All right. Howdy, everyone. I'm Amerlin, and for the final time coming to you, this is AIMBOT, the show all about FPSs and shooters. This is my final show. I figured it's been almost exactly 2 years to the day. I started on September 21st, 2021, with one of the runners who's going to be on this show, and I figured it was just my time to step down and cycle in new people and bring in fresh stuff. But I'm a huge FPS advocate. I'll say this again at the end of the show, but if you want to see more FPSs and shooter games, go check out the mainline events. I'm on the committee there, so I really try to push for a lot of those types of games there. I really like seeing them, and I think these types of games are some of the highest skill level speedruns that anybody can do. And the archives of AIMBOT, there's so many of those getting shown off. And I'm rambling a bunch at the start, but this is my final show, so I can do whatever I want to. But I do have a couple announcements before we get started. GDQX will be live from TwitchCon, October 20th to the 22nd. I'll actually be there, both producing the show and running Neon White. I run the Hell Rainbow Rush category, which is all the side quests back to back. So I'm nervous for that because Hell is a very hard category, but pretty excited. It'll take place on the Games Done Quick stage at TwitchCon, as well as streamed live on the Twitch channel. Exclamation point GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check out the games list. And, as I've said, Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 will be live in person January 14th to the 21st in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is dope because it's drivable for me. Volunteer submissions are open right now and will close September 18th. Exclamation point AGDQ in Twitch chat for more info. And if you're interested in any volunteer positions, please come check it out. I started as a stage tech, and now I'm a producer for the event as well. I find it a lot of fun to do. So if you want to, there's literally positions like stream tech. It's basically running OBS. Stage tech, you get to set up the consoles. Donations, you get to help out with the people, reading the donations. So I'm gonna have to cut myself off because otherwise I'm just gonna ramble on too long. This run completes the circle. I will have shown off every single Borderlands game on AIMBOT with this. And this one is particularly unforgettable because it's a glitch there's a glitch involved with this run that we'd heard about, but we didn't know it was feasible until someone got a copy of the 1.0 version of this game. And then we found out the game breaks in half. So without further ado, and for the final time, Deceptics, ZZ Rules, take it away with Borderlands 1.
How do we even follow up that introduction? Wow. So, welcome everyone. I'm ZZ Rules 21.
I am Deceptics.
And like Amerlin said, we're going to be running Borderlands 1. This is the original 2009 release of the game, and the original release version as well, 1.0 version. If you saw Borderlands 1 during AGDQ, that is the enhanced version, the remaster that was made in 2019. This is not that at all. It is going to be a completely different run for multiple reasons. One, the engine that it's run on and some of the glitches in here are going to be different from what we saw there. And this is going to be the all missions run instead of the 90% run. So we're going to be completing every single mission in this game and using a couple different characters. So this is a co-op run. So I'm going to join our lane game and we're going to get started. And we're going to run in the first part of this game being broken in half, which is kind of funny to mention because that implies that the game is actually functional. The online services were hosted by GameSpy back in 2009, which doesn't exist now. So the only way that we can do co-op is I have to quit my game entirely. And I have to launch a different executable of the game that specifically mentions Deceptics' game title that I'm joining. So once I launch the executable, I'm just going to pop right into his game. And this is how we have to do co-op in this game. It is going to be absurd. And this is just the start of the absurdity that is 1.0 Borderlands. So this run is going to use Mordecai, which is a little different from any other Borderlands 1 run you've seen in the past. Lilith is usually the character that's used because she has move speed, she has damage resistance, she has everything you want in a speedrun character for the Borderlands series. But Mordecai has one glitch. We're going to show off about 10 minutes into the run maybe. That's going to sort of exemplify why we're playing as Mordecai. So I'm ready. I can start a game. So Deceptics timing is going to start whenever he enters the game. So
All right. So counting from 3, 3, 2, 1, and go.
and there we are. So timing in this game is a little different from the rest of the series. It starts right whenever you load into the game because there's technically movement you can do right from the start. But they're just like all Borderlands games, there's going to be this short little introduction from Claptrap explaining where you are and introducing himself.
Another thing to note about this game is there's no built-in FOV slider. So you may see that I have a higher FOV than ZZ. And while that might be by choice, in this case, it isn't. Off-host in this game works really weird, as you'll see many times throughout this run. In particular, for us to get higher FOV than normal, we have to bind a key to change your FOV. This doesn't work off-host because your FOV can get reset many times. So sprinting changes your FOV, meleeing changes your FOV, getting in a car changes your FOV, and every time you do those things, it just resets back if you're off host.
So like I have the key, boom, higher FOV, reasonable. I start sprinting and it's back to normal. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to deal with. Claptrap has a whole bunch of triggers that you have to literally stand directly in for it to progress the story. So that's what I'm doing while Decep is just running back and grabbing some loot. So we don't actually have our normal names. We have to manually change our names for it to show up in you can see all of the items that Decep is picking up. And it just says Mordecai. So I renamed myself just so that we can keep who's doing what clear. And then immediately right off the start, I'm going to jump on this fire barrel. And this is a feature that exists in every single Borderlands game is if you revive a co-op partner, you get 100 XP. But there's not really an easy way of abusing it in a speedrun sense or any of the other series games. But there's this long cutscene that we have to wait for. And in doing so, I can down myself multiple times and it doesn't waste any time that Decep can just revive me. And I think we can do it 4 times and that he'll get a level up by doing it. I think we have enough time for all 4. So him starting level 2 here at the very first fight instead of level 1 is just one way that the game's busted. Should we go for it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, okay. No, we're fine.
Actually, I might down anyway. We're good. Okay. So all that waiting, and we have our first fight of the game. You're going to start to see off-host is not functional for me. I have to lead my shots a ton, and it's not always going to work. So Decep is handling most of the combat for this initial area. We're sort of on it. We don't really have... We have to wait for Claptrap to run anyway. He hides and he's over here, and we have to wait for him a little bit more. So it doesn't really lose us all that much time. What Decep is doing is actually going to be opening a whole bunch of different crates. And it's part of the uniqueness of Borderlands 1 compared to the rest of the series in that there are a bunch of side missions that you can do or side challenges that you can do. And completing these challenges gives you experience. So one of the challenges is to open 50 containers. That gives you enough XP to I think, get your action skill. So Decep has been running around just opening any container he can find to help his XP to get there. So this is, again, basic FPS tutorial. But Decep is going to break off shortly and take a bit of a non-intended route, so to speak. So you can see how my off-host just doesn't work. So like meleeing is probably going to be the best option for combat for me. Hey, cool. So Decep is taking the non-intended way. You're supposed to be trapped into the tutorial world. He's doing a little funky parkour that he can do to access a future section a little earlier. And he's going to be doing a lot of stuff that you're not supposed to be doing at this point yet. So I have more triggers that I have to hit.
Is there is a trigger in front of me that's supposed to warn you about higher level enemies, which makes sense because this area will become a boss fight arena. But we can use that piece of like intro dialogue saying, hey, this guy's going to be pretty hard to kill. So we skip some dialogue, which is the only dialogue skip.
Either.
Yeah.
We have to wait for this animation anyway to open up. I'm doing most of the main story parts while Decep is off in La La Land doing whatever. I have to wait for Claptrap anyway, so it doesn't even really save time. But it's the only dialogue save we have, so we're gonna do it when we can. So I'm gonna be in Firestone most of the time, just progressing stuff while Decep is doing his own thing outside of Firestone that you're not supposed to be able to do right now. So this is Dr. Zed, medic. He returns in most of the games of the series. We're just sort of saving the people of Firestone.
And while ZZ does that, you may see I have access to the catch ride station, which, you know, will give us vehicles. Now, normally during the story, you have to unlock this by completing multiple other separate quests that we'll get to later. However, they only locked off one of the catch ride stations. So, again, I'm not supposed to be here, so it makes sense that they didn't lock off all of them. But because I am in this part of the map before you're supposed to, I can actually get a car before I'm meant to. And so I'm going to put a car down below so that ZZ can get one later. And then I'm going to instantly go to another glitch called scroll boosting, if I can get this right. So in this game, every single time you activate the boost of a vehicle, you get a little bit of boost. Normally it's like a sustained thing, but you can also use this just to get like a one gigantic boost. And because we have action skill bound to the scroll wheel, which also binds boost to the scroll wheel, we can just fly in a car. And what this helps us do is unlock another one of those challenges that ZZ was talking about earlier, which gives you XP based on how long your car is in the air. And so because our car was just like floating because of this scroll jump, we got a massive amount of XP, and you can see that I'm already level 6.
There used to be an actively worse way to do that, which is like you hang your car off a ledge.
So here's the thing.
But it's so bad to set up.
Here's the thing. Everything that Decep just described is only for on-host. Scroll boosting does not work in that fashion for off-host, just with the latency. So I'm going to be doing that method to get my orbit achieved as well, to get that XP.
Cool.
Now the lower 100 XP that we got from reviving and for some of the missions isn't a lot, all things considered. But whenever we're this low a level, I mean, I think 400 XP was enough for a level up, so it adds up. And orbit achieved, I think, gives you, I want to say, like a couple thousand XP, which is I think
it's like 20K.
Level up. I know Merchant of Death is 20K.
Oh, that might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it gave me 3 levels, just for reference.
So a lot of where co-op comes into play here is we're dividing and conquering this entire time. There aren't really co-op specific glitches in here like there are in some of the other games. Mass duping and Axe and super speed. So just a lot of the routing in this is going to be just dividing and conquering and splitting up so that as soon as Decep completes an objective of a mission, I'm there to turn it in, or vice versa. So here's another one where Decep is setting up my car for me so that I can do Orbit Achieved. And while he's doing that, I'm doing the story quest for TK of grabbing the skag meat. So just there's going to be a ton of dividing and conquering, and that's how we save a lot of time over just standard solo all quests, all missions. So I have all the food, and then I get to get my XP. So Decep did the car setup for me because, again, off-host does not function. So I need him to set it up for me so that I can get my XP. So all I have to do, it's perched in this precarious way, as long as I don't get knocked off by a skag. 1 second. Details. So now that the car's perched, I'm going to melee it and get in at the same time. And for some reason, doing it this way gives me Orbit Achieved. I don't think anyone understands why this happens like this. It just does. But because of that, I was able to hit level 6 at least. So have you used your action skill yet?
I have not, because I've been waiting to describe it. So at level 5, you unlock your action skill in this game. And so what Mordecai's action skill is you can throw your bird called Bloodwing out. So like normally you just can throw Bloodwing, and then Bloodwing will attempt to attack an enemy and then come back. Now, on the release version of this game, it's a little weirder. If I look at the floor and spam my action skill, I throw a couple more than you're supposed to. And yes, all of the birds do damage. So this is now our damage for the entirety of the run. So I hope you enjoy hearing bird sounds.
Which ironically for co-op is a bit of a double-edged sword. Every single bird has to be rendered on my end, and because of that we hit the entity cap on my end. So like vendors and mission items and stuff just won't spawn for me. But on the flip side, because I'm throwing so many birds, I don't need to see anything because the birds just kill enemies for them. So this up can do it, and I can do the same thing. So welcome to Borderlands. It's
Definitely
insanity.
a sight to see.
It's a sight to see, and this insanity is going to occur for the entirety of the run. So there are all my birds. There's my bloodwings, and they connect me. So we're just doing that. We've been progressing the story. A lot of this early game is focused more on just story quests and base tutorials, sort of explaining how the game works and whatnot. So this episode is killing the first boss and heading to the first boss area, which is 9 Toes. We did a whole lot of the here are your grenades, here pick up items, here are your basic fetch quests, etc., etc. So this is the first boss, and fair warning, if you want to watch the game at this point, watch Deceptic's point of view, because the game will not be loading in for me properly for the rest of the game.
Boss, by the way.
So that was the first boss. And this is going to be like this for the entire run. So now that we did that, we're going to be, again, dividing and conquering. Decep is going to go back to Firestone, and I'm going to go turn into TK Baja. So that he's ready to do what he needs to do once I turn in.
So one of the only pieces of movement tech in this game, especially on Mordecai, is grenade jumping. And it's just like any other grenade jump in any other game. It's just a damage boost. The grenade, the base grenade without a mod, does knockback to you. And we can use this to, first of all, move around faster in certain spots. But we can also use it to reach spots we aren't supposed to. So if you remember, I did a rock climb earlier in this run to get over this wall. I'm instead going to just grenade jump here and make my life a little easier.
Yeah, it's not used as much. It's not used as much in Borderlands 1 original because whenever you jump, you lose your sprint. But it can be used at times to do things like that. So this is where we're actually supposed to be getting our car. Even though we've already spent a lot of time with a car, this is where we're technically supposed to be doing it. So now I can actually spawn a car technically. And we're gonna use scooter and jump this cliff on my end. Again, just progressing the story. But now we have a handful more side quests, side missions that we're going to be doing throughout the course.
Yeah, at this point in the game, we've now unlocked the ability to do side quests. So we'll be doing those as we need to, as they open up, pretty much.
I'm not much for compliments, but
did I look at my car long enough? I did. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's really funny that for the longest time, this game was essentially glitchless. You would play Lilith, and she has a couple of bugs with her ability, and phase walking in of itself is super powerful, but you basically had to play this game normally. And then we got our hands on 1.0, and everything broke. But what's funny is it makes this exactly in line with every other Borderlands game, where you just find the one thing that devs overlooked and then break that specific part into pieces.
And it also lines up with sort of how Borderlands games have evolved in terms of who the fastest speedrun character is. Because a lot of times, I saw this especially with Borderlands 3, in that there was a lot of speculation that Zane would be the fastest on release because he had all this movement speed. And that's not usually the case. Usually the fastest character is just who can do the most damage. That's an unfortunate level up for me. Who can do the most damage, that's going to be who your fastest any percent character is going to be, ironically, ended up being Zane in Borderlands 3. But Mordecai can do the most damage, so even though can I travel?
You are not going there.
You're right. Do I have a card?
Yes, you do.
Do I have a card?
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But whoever can do the most damage will be is your any percent character, and Mordecai does the most. He doesn't have any movement. He barely has healing, but he has the most damage. So he's the fastest 70% character now. It's just funny how things progress like that.
Now we're actually going to go back to one of the areas that we were at previously because we have side quests now.
Can I go?
So yes, we are going to do the all missions portion of this run. So we're going to do a little bit of splitting up here. There are 3 side quests in this map. And
this up's going to be doing 2 of them. I'm going to be doing one of them. And we're probably going to start to see where my game breaks with the amount of birds that we throw. Because I have to collect mission items. And these mission items very well might not spawn if we have too many birds thrown out. So always this entire run is going to be a matter of managing how many birds we have thrown so that I can actually play the game. It's a fun little dance we have to do. So that's a mission item, I promise. There it is. And then Decep's doing, I think he has to grab 2 mission items and then kill 1 boss. You start to see a lot of the Borderlands-esque fetch quests of, hey, go here, grab this, and you're done.
most of Borderlands 1 is just fetch quest. As this was the first game in the series, they were kind of just getting into it, really. So a lot of this will be fetch quest, which makes it easy, but at the same time also makes it hard because the items don't spawn 100% of the time for easy. So a little bit of balance there.
You can go now. Which everything spawns, so everything worked well. Alright, so we're going to be doing a little bit more of the any percent part, turning in the quests that we just did, and then more any percent part.
It's going to feel eerily similar to the last time we came out of Skag goalie. He's going to go to PK, I'm going to go to the bounty board. You know, just same old, same old.
Turning in the missions that we just did. I have a weapon, I promise. There it is. Yeah. Oh, there we are. I didn't look at my car long enough. So again, just off-host not working period is I think there's like desync of the game recognizing that I'm looking at my car and getting into my car. That if I didn't look at my car long enough, I just can't drive it. I have to be careful with that. It's some of the things we found out that just don't work off-host is kind of absurd. Yep. Sir.
Hi.
Sir.
You
got in my way. I did not get in your way.
Sir.
Got a question from someone in the chat. Linda asks, would the game go any faster if you got a Masher Unforgiven, or do the burbs just overwrite everything?
Well, we're going to see more on my screen. I won't see enemies. So
the answer is no. It would not speed up the run
If I
whatsoever.
had a Masher, I would not be any faster. Because once we're both spamming all these birds, I just don't see enemies on my screen. So I get damage numbers and not enemies. So it might speed up this up at times, but
yeah,
I can go through most of the game without using many weapons. Period.
Yeah. The thing is that like unlike Borderlands 2, where characters' action skills don't like scale particularly well towards the end, Borderlands 1, your action skill stays relevant for pretty much the entire time you play the game.
I mean, in theory, it's not supposed to stay relevant because you're only supposed to be throwing one bird.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that there's
a couple more than
a
one.
platoon of birds is
2 or 3.
yeah, just a couple of them. It makes it a bit of a different animal there. So Decep's breaking off a little bit here to start one of the side quests it's something that we saw in, I don't think it came back in the series of just here's a gun that was broken into pieces, find the pieces.
There's
at the very least,
a fetch quest in BL2 that's kind of the same. We have to kill skags for gun parts,
that's okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I should remember that, honestly. I really should, but I don't always pick up the quest, so I don't. Yeah, we have one for every weapon type. So he's starting that now while I'm running to the next story area.
All the birds flying around. So good.
Yeah, it happens. On the upside, though, I can't pick up the claptrap repair because of how many birds are here. So I just have to wait for them to
We'll see how long it takes to spawn on your side.
You can see the repair kit. You can see that it's a mission item. There it is. We can pick it up now. I just can't pick it up until there's the green beam. And this is another staple of BL1 of this is how you get your extra inventory space is repair these claptraps and you get 3 extra backpack slots. Again, not anything we've really seen in this. Oh, that's a badass. This will be fine, right? This will be fine, right?
Oh, my bird is stuck. Uh-oh.
This will be fine, right? It is not fine.
Yeah, badasses in Borderlands 1 are a little more unforgiving than in other games.
Yeah,
I think their scaling is a little bit higher. So it's just
not to mention I don't know if I'm actually throwing birds or if it's just something glitched out. Okay, this might be a save quit. I can kill this badass.
Believe me.
I believe in it. I believe in the birds. There we are. I didn't see any of them attack him, but he fell over, so I'll take it.
Are you at the travel? Or
yeah, I'll be there in like.
Okay. Yeah, you're.
There we are. So, if you watch the BL1 run, you might remember we fast traveled out of here because technically in the story we don't have the fast travel grid. I think that's what it's called, unlocked. But we could abuse that by traveling to DLC areas. We can't do that here because we don't allow the DLC areas in these runs just because it didn't come with. Actually, is there even DLC in 1.0?
Yeah, it didn't exist.
It didn't
Yeah,
exist.
it didn't exist too. So we just kind of have to run back. What we end up skipping in the enhanced version is just running back through this area after we're done instead of fast traveling. So I'm going to do the run back, and then Decep is going to finish the side quest in the area. So he's going to grab all the gun parts that are there, and then his side boss that he has to kill. That boss is plural. Initially, we had it routed that we were going to kill on our way in, but the 1 extra level we get from doing the story area first makes, actually, I guess 2 now for Decep, makes such a massive difference in killing those side bosses that he's going to finish everything before I even get back to the travel. And he's done right as I get back to the travel. So it just lined up perfect. Oh, don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Thank you. So it just ended up lining up perfectly for that. So here we have actually a side area entirely. Something that we don't normally go to in 90% because it's only an area that has a couple side quests in it. And that's going to be the shot crystals. I don't know the name of the area off the top of my head. Lost Cave. It's the shot crystal split, so that's how I know it is. So this is ironically, it is an area we go to in 90%, even though we aren't required to for anything for the story, just because there are these crabs in here that give a stupidly high amount of XP for what they are. So we come in here just to farm these crabs to do more damage. In here, we're just going to come here for the side quest, and that's it. So, like, we're getting 800, 900 XP for killing each crab. And we're on level, whereas at 90% we're usually much lower level whenever we're in this area. Oh, there we are. That's an example of what I see. I just see damage numbers. So this is a bit of an odd quest in that we just kind of have to pick up 50 of these crystals throughout this area and then do one of these claptrap repairs. And that's about it for the area. Now, can I pick up claptrap? No, I cannot.
No, you're not allowed.
See, if you see a T-posing enemy, it's probably a good chance I can't do anything in the area. It's probably a good way of looking at it. Chances I can get the crystals?
Nope.
Nope. Yep. Oh. Yeah, this is an area that we just kind of have to throw a ton of Bloodwing because of how many enemies there are, and they're pretty on level, so they can do a lot of damage to us. So because I just can't play the game, it's I guess this part's one of the downsides of co-op, in that theoretically there's a way to speed up this area, but realistically, not quite. Here, I can pick up the claptrap at least. Repair, and then I can grab some crystals too now, I think.
My burp broke.
Unfortunate.
It's on cooldown. So one of the extra side effects that we get from throwing birds is sometimes I'll just ghost throw birds when I don't want to, which really sucks in particular when attempting to shoot enemies or just shoot like the crystal things on the floor to pick up crystals. Can you get the last 3?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think I can get a second one.
I believe in you.
TK's wave? Anyone?
I realize that because you do this, you're gonna have to do the TK quests. It's gonna be sad.
Ah, I got it.
All right, you can quit.
Okay, so this is the first save quit in the game. Save quitting's weird because if the host save quits, the off-host game doesn't save. So I have to save quit first so that my game saves, and then Decep can save quit. And then because we save quit, I have to force quit my game entirely so that I can relaunch the game to join Decep's game. We don't do this as much in the run as we do in like an 80% run or so. But yeah, it's a yeah. But anyway, that was a shock cave. I got to do more than I usually do. I'll take that.
The quest was like...
I got to do a quest.
Yeah, you got to pick up not only the quest, but the quest item as well.
Yeah, I know. That's, yeah. Really, really killing it out here. So here we're going to move on from the main story. Steps going to head there, and then I'm just going to grab Shep. One of the NPCs we had to meet earlier. He gives us another mission.
Everything you've faced up
So I'm going to grab that. Well, I have nothing else to do, really. And I guess keep doing roadkill, because we haven't finished that yet.
Do not underestimate him.
We only need 2 more. It'll be fine.
We'll be fine. Who needs to use a car to kill? And you can just use birds.
So the next area we're going to is Headstone Mine, which is where Sledge, I'm gonna say, lives. And the kind of story of this game is we're trying to find where the fragments of the vault key are so that we can unlock the vault. And certain bosses have control over these vault key fragments. Sledge holds one of them. Now, this map usually is a very long, like, circle that you walk around. You gotta, like, walk all the way over here. Or I could just, you know, climb that rock, get up here, and then do a couple grenade jumps to skip the rest of the area. Which you'll see right here. Gonna grenade jump on this rock right here. And then do some meat parkour into Sledge's housing area. And now normally there's a wall here that stops you. The wall's still there, or the wall isn't there, but you still need to interact here in order to, start the cutscene. But yeah, that skips the entirety of the area. Just with a couple simple jumps and the parkour. And birds will do their work, hopefully. I might have to throw a couple more.
The fun part for this about me is Decept handles all this because he's on host and he flows in faster. He's better everything with this game. So I just chill while he does all that. Usually this is where I get to rename my character name and mess with him. That is a good question. We are using Hamachi. We are using a virtual line software, and it is still this bad. It's just the game. It doesn't.
Believe it or not, the game doesn't like it when you throw hundreds of birds in the sky.
Yeah.
It has some trouble.
Yeah. So Decept is gonna be turning in the main story. I'm gonna be doing some of the side quests while we wait. And then we're gonna do our first slaughter. These are a little bit more prevalent in BL2. And by prevalent, I mean rage-inducing because of how much they kill the speedrun. Not as much so here. They're much shorter slaughters, but still a little annoying to begin with. So I have another one of the pick up gun parts quests that I need to be able to pick up menu items. That's another badass. Oh, cool. There we are. So now I can pick up mission items now that the birds are despawned. Yeah.
We're kind of just finishing the quests that we have access to in this map. We'll come back later to finish quests that we get after the fact.
This is fine.
But for now, do I grab Chef? I think I do.
I already grabbed Chef, I think.
Okay.
Just because I had nothing else to do.
So, yeah, we're pretty much just finishing all the side quests in this area.
Firestone is a really big area that has a ton of... You spend a good chunk of the story just in Firestone and doing stuff around Firestone, which is definitely... It's certainly a pacing choice from Gearbox that I think they've learned a lot from in later entries. That, I mean, we're going to be level 20 almost before we're done with the opening area, so... You can sort of see the age of a lot of the stuff in here. So this is the slaughter. This is going to be Decept throwing birds and me just waiting at the the entrance so that I can turn in faster. So he'll be more closer to the combat, and I'm just here to turn in.
Oh.
Oh. There it is. He's done with that. I turn in, grab the next. So this is 3 rounds of the Circle of Death. And it's going to take probably the time of 1 round of one of the slaughters in Borderlands 2. So I kind of wish they hadn't expanded on this. The later entries.
Expanded them up to 5, yeah.
Well, 5 and... No, it's 5. I'm thinking that.
It's 5 rounds with, like, longer
multiple
waves as well.
spawns, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, there's technically waves in these rounds, but they're not, like... I'd say the equivalent of 1 wave in, like, Borderlands 2 or 3 is about 1 round here.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, I like the ones in BL1 because actually, for both BL1 and BL2, I don't have to do any of this. So I like them both. Just a slightly different circumstance. So I think these are the last 2 enemies spawning. Just these alpha skags. Badass skag, yeah. And we're done. So, much shorter slaughter.
The true test of skill.
Yeah. So
I wish everything was like that on later ones.
I mean, sir?
You didn't see that. I got pushed off the ledge. Don't worry about it.
Sir? Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway.
Anyway, you get a really cool weapon now.
Yeah, they're called Bloodwing.
Yeah.
I know you're
the
talking
gun
about
I have in
sledges,
my
aren't
hand is
you?
just cosmetic.
It's entirely cosmetic.
I think that the only reason I have a gun in my hand is if I have to shoot something that Bloodwing won't attack. Like, for example, the droppings on this fan, I can't shoot, or I can't hit with birds. I can hit it with the car gun, which is what I do. But there's a couple other objectives in this game where I actually have to use a gun. But
Yeah, the shot crystals that we were just at is one example.
Yeah.
There's another area with more shot crystals that'll be another example. But more or less, this up is moving. Oh,
go ahead.
good. Yeah, more or less, I'm finishing up some of the side quests while this up is advancing
Doing
the story. Doing the same, and then eventually it's going to go to the story and progress the story to the next area.
Yeah, someone actually asked earlier, and I'm actually not sure about this either. Do you change elements at any point during the run, or you just let it rock?
sort of.
change elements because there's quest rewards that give us elemental artifacts, and when you redeem them, they auto-equip. So
Okay, but not like
it's not
intentionally
like
changing.
it's not like
Not
we
into-
choose to
Yeah.
change which one we have. It's just kind of like the gamer brain of like clear out your inventory. So yeah, like I think I have Firebirds on right now. Yeah.
In a sense, I do swap to shock if I have it, just for there's a shock. I missed one. There's a shock enemy at one point that just doesn't show up for me. That's super high level, and I'm way under leveled for that. I swapped to shock just because it's super effective on that. And I swapped to it for that and that alone, just in the hopes that it might help me. But technically, death warping would be faster anyway, so I probably shouldn't do that. If anything, I have to take an element off for Rack Hive because Rack Hive resists elements. So there's some extra damage, but it's not anything that we go out of our way for.
Yeah, like a lot of the times, the massive damage buffs in Borderlands games come with like, oh, you're now super under leveled because you're either just using it to like directly kill bosses, or you're just running past, whatever's going on. Except for like the all quest ones where you get every gun and you're basically on level.
Well, you say that. We just entered the area where we're going to be under level for most of it, even though we have done every single quest that's available to us and turned in, I think. If I have that
right,
this up.
but it's not like
We are
Borderlands 2 levels of or TPS levels of under level.
Oh yeah, no.
They're gonna finish the campaign, basically fine, and they're
over leveled.
Yeah, over leveled, and they're gonna be fine throughout most of it, and that's just because the homing birds. It's very similar to Gage's aimbot from Borderlands 2. You look near the enemies and the birds kill them.
Yeah, we gained so much XP throughout this run because we don't have to worry about killing enemies. We just kind of kill everything by mistake. So, well, we just hit high levels of XP because we can't control where the birds go most of the
Okay, I
time.
did throw that one. Where's my car? There it is. Look at it long enough that I can actually enter. There we are. Okay, cool. So this is just another divide and conquer. Just up starting the mission. I'm finishing the back half of it. And then this is again because even though we've done all of the available quests we have at this point, and because we're under level because of this is probably one of the more difficult areas of the run. Specifically with this upcoming quest that Seth has to do. He has to kill 8 of these bandit patrol cars moving around, and they do a lot of damage. So it's gonna be difficult. And like you see the skull, we're technically under leveled for it. So
Yeah, I don't remember. Does Healthgate exist in this game, or was that a Borderlands 2 invention?
I am not
I would
sure
think
either.
so,
I
but
think it does.
could not tell you.
Yeah, so for people who have not played a Borderlands game or didn't know this existed, in at least Borderlands 2 and onward, when you get knocked to really low health really fast, you actually stay at like 5% of your health or something like that for a little bit. And that's called Healthgate, and that's used pretty heavily in a lot of like later runs where you're super under leveled. But
It's the one-shot protection
Yeah.
that we have in this game. Well, actually, I don't know if it's in this game in particular, but
right.
it is
It's in the
Borderlands
series overall. As long as you're above half health, you can't die from any one attack.
You can die from
Well,
a
I guess
dot.
there's
But-
You can die from a
there's,
dot.
There's exceptions to that rule, but 99% of the time, you cannot get one shot.
So this is the enemy that Shock is really good against, which is why I swapped to Shock right there, just to try and protect myself. But at the same time, because I did that, I can't turn in the quest yet because there's too many birds on my screen. So, yeah.
Another
There
weird quirk in this game is that car health regenerates really slow. So not only do these cars that I'm attempting to kill, because that's a quest objective, take long to kill, they do a lot of damage to my car, and my car takes forever to gain its health back, which makes doing this combat quite difficult. Like, my car isn't even fully regened, and I walked, or I ran all the way over to that valve, and then all the way back. Which is one of the things that I'm very glad they changed in the later games, because it can be quite frustrating.
Yeah, car health scales a little bit better in later games. I think it's just straight, like, 15 health per level or something like that here.
So at the same time, cars in this game go squish. So
That's true.
True.
So which one is really better if we're being real here?
Driving is better in 2. I'll say that with my whole chest.
Driving is better.
In 2.
You know what? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yes.
This is a problem. So
Hey, is that a... Yeah, I'm fun.
well, apparently there was a badass, so my car just kind of exploded.
Wish.
It went squish. I ate my words really quickly there.
Yeah,
I think this is gonna be fine.
cars in this game, for people who may not have seen it yet, are really good at like running over enemies and killing them, but it also damages your car really badly. So
And especially if you're under leveled and you
Yeah.
have a badass enemy that has a lot of health, and you don't see him while you're driving, your car just kind of explodes.
a little bit of
I
an
need to
issue.
find
Just like
a-
that.
Yeah, so I need to
I
find the
wasn't expecting that to
catcher.
actually kill my car, but, you know. Alright, I'll just...
Oh, that's one right there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that bad then. I think that's... Maybe the Bruiser died? Okay, the Bruiser died. Cool. So... Oh, don't run over that ass too. So, coming up here, I guess I'm shooting my gun. I'm virtual camming in Discord, so no one else in Discord can hear it. I'm shooting my weapon while I'm in my car. It's great.
I mean, just so
listening
you
to
know, I can't hear
it
anything.
is.
I don't have
Yeah.
sound on either game.
There we are. Okay, cool. I stopped shooting. So this area, I've mostly done what I need to do. Coming up for me is just going to be one of the missions. We have to kill 50 Scythids. The game is really... They really like the 50 number for a lot of the side missions. That I think we have to pick up 50 crystals. We have to kill 50 Scythids. It would make sense to just drive in your car and run over everything, but they're not going to spawn for me. So I just kind of spend the next 2 minutes just running and throwing birds and killing Scythids that don't exist on my screen.
The BL1 off-host experience.
It is, yeah. Like, we joke about the BL2 HotFix experience, in that, like, stuff doesn't work like it's supposed to, but at least you can sort of deal with how it does end up working. Off-host in BL1 just doesn't work, period. There's no, our Scythed number is going to go up, and you're not going to see a single Scythed on my screen. And the funny thing about this is we might actually end up getting this because I ended up dying. Is we might be able to spawn lock the map from all the Scythids that I'm spawning that the boss might not spawn. This happened to us only once, and it's around the same timing. So I'm curious if me messing up here actually saves us time. I'm curious to see if this ends up working. So this episode, the story boss, and he's actually one of the difficult story bosses. It's difficult for your birds to track down because I think in the initial development for this game, they wanted this game to be a Mad Max game. It happened.
He's not here.
Hilarious. And did you just kill him?
I have to kill the car, I think.
Yeah, you have to kill the car, but the car doesn't have Mad Mel in it to drive the car. There we are.
Yeah.
Nice. So
I'm gonna have to bleed, but yes, there was no driver to
There
the
was no
car.
driver to
When normally there's supposed to be a, Mad Mel's supposed to be in the car, driving the car around, but yeah, we just got the car, not the driver.
flawless. We got it whenever we were learning the run, so I wasn't fully sure what I was doing, and we haven't been able to replicate it since. And I think that's how we replicate it, is by me just being slow in general, which is funny. Anyway, so Zep's gonna go and finish the story mission. I'm just running back to the start so that I can get a car, so that I'm ready to go for the next area. Treads over here. I might be able to get in time. I'm getting a car. I'm getting a car.
I'll take your word for it.
It's okay. There's a catch ride station right out here, so it doesn't actually lose anything.
So we have now
But I still want to get in
made
the
our
car.
way to New Haven, which is kind of the hub map for this game. Now, it's like a soft hub map because we don't really come here that often, or I guess I should say as often as, say, the hub maps in, say, Borderlands, or in the later Borderlands games. But it is the hub world, or hub map. And
Hub city.
so we're going to have access to a couple more side quests now, as we, slowly make our way through the story. But we first have to turn on the power to all the houses, because it's very difficult for the residents of New Haven to walk outside and press the button on the generator. So we have to do it for them.
I mean, details.
Yeah, at least in
Job
Overlook they
security.
had like
Job security.
a reason for why they couldn't go outside.
There's probably a reason, but you have to read to find that reason. And
You good, Susie?
Yep.
Okay.
are you okay?
Help.
You Austin powers the car in a way I've never seen anyone Austin powers a car before.
Don't think you're supposed to do that.
I mean, it wouldn't be the last Borderlands AIMBOT run without wonky cars.
Believes that you and I are looking for the same thing. You should come to me now so I can see the artifact you have recovered.
So,
Need something? That's all.
just going over here to go to the next area. There's not much for us to do in New Haven. We come back to New Haven more in the All Quest run than we do in the 100% run, just because there's a handful more missions that we have to grab and mission low that we have to do. Oh, sorry.
We're going too slow.
It wouldn't let me get into the car that was flipped. You can go now.
Oh. Cars. Alright, so this
So
is
like we've done with previous areas, we're just gonna split up, get a couple of side quests done on our way, and then meet our next story character, Tanis, and additionally Crazy Earl.
And then Tanis, we're going to be talking to and meeting Tanis a whole bunch throughout the run. She's the main researcher trying to get us into the vault. And so every time we get a vault key fragment, we're going to be visiting Tanis to give it to her so that she can put together the main key. Very frequently, we're going to be coming to this area, just going to Tanis. So this is probably going to be the worst offender, at least on my end, of I have to do a fetch quest, but I can't see the fetch items. So it's going to be an adventure trying to find these items that I need to grab. So grabbing that fast travel station, which you can miss easily, but it's going to be helpful for the story later on. We're going to travel here a couple times just because it's going to be the fastest place to go to the next area. So I see a T-posing enemy, so my mission items probably aren't spawned. that one was, which is
I love how that's the indicator.
yeah, we see some damage numbers. There's a piece spawned, cool. Another one that spawned, awesome.
Whoever is making the decision is insane. Iridium mining on this planet
It didn't despawn when I picked it up, but you know, details.
has funded my project. It's been especially profitable given how low their labor costs are.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Tannis talking throughout all this. The Hidden Journals mission flows, which is just detailing how Tannis is going crazy being on Pandora trying to do all this research by herself. Last one's over here. Which they sort of brought back for one quest in BL2 as sort of a throwback, but there are a lot of these pretty much in, I want to say in like 4 different maps. We have to just collect a handful of these echoes that detail, and it's going crazy. So my mission items actually spawned, which is kind of a...
That never happens. What's going on?
Never happened before. So at this point, I'm just waiting for Decept to finish what he's doing, and then I can travel to the next area.
Echo recorder. I've developed a relationship with it. Some cycles I sleep with it, and others I make it stay outside of my tent. My waning ability to discern logic from insanity is becoming cumbersome. I've been translating Eridan writings. In between arguing with the recorder, he went off for hours during my last
Looks like he's just about heading to Tannis. This is a path that we go to all the time, just to get back to Tannis. So once he turns into Tannis, we'll go to the next area. Which you can see how the benefit of the Divide and Conquer thing is. We turn into Tannis over here on the map, and then the next mission area is over here. So just being able to split up so that I travel to the next area right as he turns in saves all this travel that we normally have to do. The game
Almost there.
Game tantalized me with saying like, hey, why aren't you running Lilith? The Guardian of the Artifact gave me a Siren artifact. Great. All right, so Crazy Earl Scrapyard here. This is, again, another Divide and Conquer. I'm going to take one path to complete the Claptrap Rescue that's in that area, and Decept is going to take the other path that has 2 other side quests, or 1 side quest with 2 different
Side
areas.
quest, and we're both completing the main story quest.
Yeah, we're both completing the main one. We
The main
just have
story
to...
quest is to kill enemies. So
That's it.
it's very difficult for us. We just kind of do it along the way because it's impossible to not finish it.
Completing the side mission is just, or the main quest is just a side effect of doing the side quest anyway.
Yes, exactly. You might as well call the main quest the side quest because we're not going to pay attention to it at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not paying attention to the enemies that I'm killing because
You don't see them.
I do not see them. I see damage numbers. Yeah. So, I'm going to try and kill as many enemies that are near me as possible so that I'm not, I don't have to worry about dying while I wait for my birds to despawn. So bandits are killed, but it's still not what we have to, so even though Claptrap's here, the mission itself hasn't spawned.
I do not have a grenade. I want to run around, that's boring.
Got this. We got this.
They're not grenades. Grenade.
There we are. There's the
Not
mission.
grenades.
And then the item is just up here a little. I don't want this bruiser to kill me while I'm trying to do this. There we are. Now my grenade timings off host are not consistent, questionable at best. So getting that second try is not bad. And I can come in, awesome. So I just need, we're gonna save quit after we're done with this. So I just save quit on Decept's go. I guess I could probably death warp at this if I had time.
No, you can't.
Oh, you hit a save, never mind.
Yep. Because I had to walk around. I didn't get grenades. Oh well.
if we've got a little bit of time while y'all are running
We do.
around. Since this is my final show, might as well provide a little do some retrospective stuff.
You can quit. I can quit. Cool. I'm
What's
launching
your-
the game.
What is your personal favorite Borderlands run?
Co-op
That-
quests
that's
for BL2.
that's for the two of you.
BL2
Co-op
co-op
quests.
quests. 1000%. It is. It just it's a short enough run. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it just has so much diversity in the combat, in the glitches that you do. You get to see the entirety of the game. It's not like any percent where you're strictly doing the story areas and story missions. And there's a ton of, funny enough, there's a ton of downtime and dead time that you can just have some of the stupidest conversations too. In that, like, there are times where you're just going with your friends that you're running with.
I don't know what you're talking about. All of my conversations during Circles of Slaughter were always very normal.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Very normal. I mean, yeah, it's also a co-op run, so it's kind of hard for co-op runs to be unfun
Yeah.
because you're just always gaming with someone. So like,
So even if we have a bad run,
yeah, but who
we're
cares?
just we're just chilling.
Exactly.
Unless it's TPS co-op. Any %.
Even if, especially if it's TPS co-op at co-op, it is TPS is fun. TPS any percent is a second.
TPS 90% is so rough. Though.
Stop. Nope. It's so good.
It's rough.
We could go on a long
Okay.
argument about our hot.
It is the
category
best
picks.
take. It is the best take.
TPS likes TPS 90%. I love BL3 90%. We could go on for a long time about that.
I think BL3 90% is good now.
It's amazing now.
It wasn't good when the game came out. When the game came out, it was rough.
So here's another story. Oh, hey, Bouncing Betty. This is another story mission where we just have to get booze for Crazy Zero. So we come to this area, kill 25 enemies, get 25 bottles of booze, and we're done. So we just have to run through this area and kill enemies and collect. So while we're doing that, more retrospective. Unless if you didn't have more, I don't know if you had more or not. No? No more? Okay.
I'll take that as a no.
It sounds like a no. I mean, we can talk more about co-op Quest. Co-op Quest is fun.
We actually just did reroutes last night.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I can't keep track of it. They have so much more time than me. That
What do
I'll
you
come
have
back
that
from
down
work
to
too.
now? It's like a 224 or something?
224, 22.
Jeez.
So we have a lot of time saved. So that
We-
can,
We
just
thought
need to sit down and do
230
more.
was going to be the limit for a while.
we just need to sit down and do more runs consistently, and then we could probably get that down to sub 220.
And if you want to, we can indulge the hater a little bit. What's your least favorite Borderlands category?
Borderlands 300%.
Wait, solo or co-op?
You could go.
Solo. I think this is.
Earl.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I have my notes, but I can't find where we are.
As much as I would really like to say the TPS is my least favorite, just to strike back at what Zizi said, I'm gonna have to go with any percent BL1. At least more
Really? Not even
Uh,
Wonderlands?
No, I'd rather run Wonderlands than BL1 solo, and that's mostly because just the any percent run for this game just isn't very interesting. With Mordecai, at least. If you're playing as Lilith, it's amazing. You have a lot more to worry about, but you know.
Look at this.
And as a reminder to everyone, I have showed most of these categories that we're talking about on this channel. On AIMBOT at some point.
Actually, I don't think you did. You didn't do co-op Quest, but it has been on GDQ for It's Dangerous to Go Alone. That's
Yeah.
like one of the best.
I did
Borderlands
solo
co-op
all
categories,
quests.
So
Yeah.
solo Quest, yes.
Unjust ran that. Unjust Action ran that for me. Borderlands 2 any percent has been on here. TPS any percent. I think it was solo.
Yep.
Wonderlands solo. I think think I showed off one other co-op category, but I don't remember what it was.
Really?
It might have been
Okay.
BL2 co-op. But yeah, I've got a lot of archives for AIMBOT. People are interested in going back and checking those out. And of course, Deceptics and ZZ Rules are gonna keep running these games because they're two of the best players in the world at this. So
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Because I don't agree, but I appreciate it.
I mean, it's true. These games have
You
broadly
may not
had
like it, but it's true.
yeah. These games have had pretty broad like generations, honestly. Like at first it was Fun Cannon, Black Wave, Abba Bob, Incolex. I'm blanking on the name. Vinyl. The guys who did it at ESA, 4-player. I completely forget their names.
4 players before my time.
Yeah.
4 player was the main category.
Blackfire, when he used to run Shining Face, Raykaru. And then it was just me and Shockwave for a little while. And then Deceptics was like, I'm young and good at video games. Time to get really good at them. So now it's the two of you, Unjust Action, Willful in chat. It's pretty prolific runner.
So
Zenki.
I'm going to cut you off here. You mentioned TK, right? I would close your eyes.
No,
Taylor?
you can't do this to me.
No? You can't? No? No?
Your eyes.
You have
Here,
to.
here, I'll... Here. There we are. Everything's fine.
You can doing fine.
Everything's fine. Okay, continue.
Yeah, there's I don't know. This is definitely one of my favorite game series of all time. One of my favorite speedrun series of all time. And you know, if you're looking to speedrun an FPS, you could certainly do worse than any of the Borderlands games. They're all pretty good.
And there's tutorials for some of them now.
There are.
Yes,
tutorials.
And there's tutorials for some of them now.
So we're finishing up the quests in Firestone. I think this is the last time we come back to the Firestone. Finishing up everything that's in here. TK is fine, and then this up is running a mini bus in here. I'm still in a travel. That happens.
Don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it. I can travel very quickly now. Boom. Again, Office just not being functional. If there was something that we could get consistently, it'd probably save time. But I don't know. Anyway. So middle of nowhere here. There's a lot in this area that we skip at any percent. The entire area that I'm going to begin with, we just bypass entirely. So part of the reason that I think 100% / all quest type runs are a little bit more fun than 90% as long as they're a reasonable time.
Hey now.
Is that you get to see a lot more of the game that you're playing. So
Feel 300% is a very reasonable time.
yep. Well, let's go with that. Sure.
So unlike the other bounty boards that we've used to pick up quests, we actually have to power this one because I don't remember the guy's name. Lost the fuses, so we have to get them for him.
Johns.
Again,
Hudson
Borderlands
Johns.
1 is a lot of fetch quests, this being one of them. But we're opening up the bounty boards that we can unlock some more quests to, of course, complete.
This is Spider Ants, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
As long as you
That's
gave
another-
the fuses.
Yes. That's another fun part about co-op runs is for every co-op run that we do, not one of us doesn't know the entire route, but the combination of all of us can piece the route together, which is great.
I distinctly remember doing that exact same thing during our co-op quest run. If I had to do something that wasn't in my route, I didn't know what I was doing.
Nope. Yep. Same exact way.
I think the only reason I know other roles is because of rerouting.
He's been the one rerouting and telling me what to do. It.
Well, it also
Yeah.
you
I
run
can't keep a route
solo
straight.
of all these, so
Yeah, that also helps. That does help.
I just can't keep all these reroutes straight. They keep telling me to do different things.
Ooh, shiny.
Look at this.
Hey.
I woke up outside the camp today.
Oh, I love
So-
when the spacebar
I
works.
got outside,
Nice.
but I seem to have overcome my
More tennis echoes here, and then
This will be my
I
last
think after that,
recording
Deceptus
before
doing the
I recording.
story to get to the next story area.
My echo recorder has clearly gone crazy, and if I'm not careful, I too might go insane. I will come back.
Oh, I have my 2 echoes here.
I have rid myself of this two-timing recorder. This is the
And then
tricky
Decep's
test.
going to go to the actually the most dangerous area is just this next upcoming air travel, just because of the
If my birthday has
there's a bunch of turrets that just obliterate you. Oh,
Interesting.
I cannot
How's
drive
your
my
car
car.
feeling?
I cannot drive it.
You don't die. You don't die. That's what I thought.
Believe I did. Okay. Anyway,
this is, Prom is featured in the upcoming
Prom.
Borderlands movie.
Well, shit, look at that.
that releases. That's not end of 2024, is it?
It's gonna be after SGDQ 24. I only
Okay.
I that's literally how I like fixed the date in my mind. It's gonna be about a month after that, I think. Because SGDQ is usually July.
SGDQ 20.
No, it's usually July. It's not out yet.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that'll be
for some
something.
reason,
Krieg's in
Crom
it.
is a character in it.
For some reason, Krieg's a character in it. Krieg is not in this game. Krieg and Crom do not exist at the same time. But they're both in the Borderlands movie, so we'll see. I don't know. It'll be a movie of all time. So, yeah, I don't know
This
how many
map
times
has a Y shape to it,
it is a Y shape.
so it's
one.
perfect.
It's
for us to
perfect for 2
split up.
people. That
Yeah.
I'm taking one section and doing the main quest, and Giuseppe is taking the other and doing the side quests.
And shocking, I'm the one who's picking stuff up off the floor. And it's
No way.
not gonna be ZZ.
No way. No way.
Ooh. Shout out to the person in chat who said Borderlands is on their friend's birthday. Congrats. And also, I'm kind of sorry. The movie might be
Oh,
good. It could be really
August
good.
9th. That's 3 days before mine.
Oh, happy birthday. We'll go.
This will be fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll live.
I can
My
shoot.
ears won't though.
I can't
So,
even shoot. So hopefully,
in case
Rose can
anyone's
find
wondering,
something.
ZZ can't throw birds while he's down. But the birds
Neither
out still do
neither of
stuff.
us can. The birds did not come back, and unfortunately, I can't even shoot.
Cool.
So, did you hit your save yet?
Yes.
Hmm.
Welcome.
Oh, hello.
We'll just go back. Let's run back.
Just go back.
You can just run back. Just
I can run back now.
Yeah.
Turn in here. So that's actually sort of routed of me death warping, so I can turn that in because I spawned right in front of the claptrap turn in. Oh, Jesus. This will be
Yeah,
fine.
it's really far away. It'll probably just have to stay put, which is fine.
Yeah. We'll see how far I can get.
Are you there yet?
Not even close.
Stay put.
Not even remotely. Borderlands. The one-off host. So,
Borderlands.
what's supposed to happen there is I'm supposed to kill the boss. Giuseppe is supposed to finish the side quests, side missions in the area. But what's actually going to happen this time is I'm going to make Giuseppe do everything now. So I'm going to say that travel, and he just finished the side quest in the area. Now he's going to go and do. So have fun. Don't die.
Check that out.
I'll try. I have a little bit of an advantage.
What you mean having a functional game?
I can throw as many birds as I want.
This episode, I think we might have to watch the cutscene again. I'm pretty sure we have to watch the cutscene again.
Yeah.
Get a new shield, see if that does anything. Extra 30 capacity. Is that a Doll Mercenary Tech 4 Violent SMG?
It's very good. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for spamming my screen with it.
It's the gun I get to throw around for fun. I don't get to shoot it, so.
I mean, at least you
There's a
don't have
cutscene
to like worry about drop reloading.
True. It's my boomerang. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
So anyone that watched my perspective did not see the cutscene this time, so you're welcome. You got to see the cutscene this time. Too many birds. You should have. There were too many birds the first time the cutscene didn't load. Let me know when. Yeah, I don't know. The Crom's arena is kind of weird in that you get the cutscene for Crom like way before you can even do any damage to him. That none of the other bosses in the series are kind of like that I can think of.
Go.
You found another piece of the key.
We did it.
So, yeah. So, like I mentioned before, we get a piece of the vault key. We go to Tannis. So this time though, I get to go to Tannis. I get to see her for a change. Yeah, no way. Because surprise, surprise, there's more fetch quests that Decep has to do and pick up, so it's easier for me to get to Tannis instead.
I have to shoot 6 crates and destroy the merchandise that was stolen from Marcus. And so while I'm doing this, Easy's gonna go say hi to Tannis.
I think it's the only time I meet her and see her. I also get to do grenade jump. Yep, that was timed. There we are. Second time. First try.
So one of the really good side effects of this game being a console port, and a very old console port for that matter, is that the interact key doubles as the reload key. Because that's how it works on a controller.
I can save it, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so technically the way it works in the other Borderlands games, you have to drop your weapon and then pick it up. But in this one, you can pick it up before you drop it. Nope, that's
don't
not
worry
the
about
right character.
No, that's
Yeah, it's intended.
yeah.
Also, if you're
There's,
off host,
as you can tell, many quirks.
also if you're off host, sometimes you can just drop your gun wrong and then it disappears, which is cool.
Yeah. Let's travel to. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I get to go to the other side of Roscommon's East. Now that we've killed the ugly one, according to Tannis.
She declined, so I stole her robotic arm until she'd give it to you. You should.
So
Sometimes I wish
we had this the way we had this routed out initially was there's a side quest boss coming up that we have to spawn initially. That initially it worked out that I get there before Decep, so I spawn it and then leave it for Decep to kill. But then Decep just got good at his job and was able to do everything before the bridge even opens. So,
Yeah, you know.
rip our routing.
I'm gonna try and scroll jump over the bridge.
Yeah?
And if I fail, then
Yeah, you got it. You got this.
The information that I've uncovered from my automated deciphering has me
Yeah, I'm just better.
posing
Beautiful.
Instrument readings suggest we may find
Beautiful.
another vault key fragment at
It
the
saved
trash
time.
coast.
Did
Unfortunately,
it actually? Okay. I honestly was doing it mostly for fun, but
My car's freaked out every time I tried to jump the
Music is wasteful and stupid.
the bridge, so I just waited for it to this time. So we have like a brother spat that we have to deal with right now. There's a town that we just passed on the way called Janestown. And the cop brothers are fighting over it, so I need to settle that, but I think we just end up killing them both.
I just killed one of the very few enemies that we have to kill with bullets. Spider ants kind of resist Bloodwing's damage. I don't entirely know why. Probably has something to do with the fact that spider ants take reduced damage if you shoot them in like the shell. So I actually had to shoot an enemy, which is very rare. Very rare.
Messed up, man. I don't know how that's allowed.
In aimbot,
I know I can't just throw birds.
Yeah.
Aimbot, the show that focuses on first-person shooters, has to shoot a weapon. What the?
No way.
I'm realizing. So,
Can I save quit?
Yes.
a runner, Dice, was in chat, and he was on the show a little while ago to run. I think it was Halo Reach Zero Shot, where you play Halo Reach, but you're not allowed to shoot a gun. And I'm realizing now that I could have incorporated Borderlands 1 into that, because you could like I could ask one of you to feasibly do this game without shooting a gun.
We could do the whole.
You'd have to melee the first part, but like
We would have to melee the first part, and the 2 spider ants that I have to kill with bullets would be a little more difficult, but we could do it.
yeah,
We could do it.
that would be a funny category extension for this game. Just no guns.
I'm good. I'm good.
I should warn you.
I know that there's definitely challenges for some of the later ones of your max level, and you don't like a gearless challenge or a gunless challenge or whatever. But not as prevalent in this game. So this is one of the extra times we have to go to. I think in any percent this is just the last time we come to New Haven, period. But there's a couple extra times we have to go in the all missions just to grab some of the. Mostly this Marcus mission line, that quest that I just picked up, doesn't actually unlock until we do the mission before it. We have to make sure we grab the mission from New Haven before. And then my mission item is I have to meet Pierce, but actually entering her office is what counts, so I can't just wait at her. Kind of annoying. And then coming up after this is going to be the next area that has crystals that we have to, purely a side quest area, that we're going to do some of the other stuff around New Haven before we go to that area, where it's just going to be another get 50 crystals, get a claptrap, and then I think there's like 2 other side quests after that.
We have to kill King Wee Wee.
King Wee Wee, correct.
For the take his throne.
We're gonna be a king. We're gonna be King Mordecai, King Burb.
King Burb.
So we just have to get. What? I'm not going the right way, am I? Nope. Okay, I'll let you do it.
I'm not paying attention. No,
Actually, I think
right
I am going the right way. You liar.
On your left. Yeah, you went the wrong way.
You're so used to me going the wrong way. You just assumed I went the wrong way. There's a.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So, Tetanus Warrens. Again, purely side quests. We'll see how much I get to do in this area. It's hit or miss. I did more in the old mine or whatever earlier with the shot crystals, or the crystals in general. We'll see how much I do here. Or if it's just a Decep only area. But considering these enemies aren't spawning, I don't have very high hopes.
I really love when the bird sounds overlap, and then I just lose my hearing for a certain amount of time. It's very fun. Oh, I thought you actually grabbed the quest.
Oh, no, I was waiting to. I was hoping I could. Turns out I can grab crystals. I can help.
You do need to do that.
I can help. Grab 10 more. And I think they're actually spawning too. Which is a miracle.
That's fine. I didn't want to jump anyway.
Being shot means you're in the air.
No.
Being shot means you're in
Getting
the air.
stuck means you're stuck.
You know what I can say? Let me know what I can say.
How many
Being shot
crystals
means you're
do
in
we
the air.
have?
Most of them. We do have to be careful about making sure
What?
making sure I safe quit at the right time, because otherwise I get locked out of quests if the SEP completes it and I'm not in the game. So did that in one of our practice runs and making sure we don't do that this time. So next we're gonna go fishing. Amy, do you remember this quest? Do you remember it? If you remember the quest, or if you've seen the all quest run, then this doesn't. This is gonna miss. But in the Borderlands series, how do you think you would fish?
Shooting the water.
Close. Yes, but specifically, as long as we shoot it with a. Do we have our
Fire grenades. Does the same thing.
I was gonna say
Okay.
rocket launcher.
rocket launcher? If we shoot with a rocket launcher or with an explosive specifically, we're gonna fish and get fish. But we did not turn in the bounty board to get our rocket launcher mission in, so we have to remember to do that. So instead, we're just gonna throw grenades at the water, and we're gonna get fish. In
The
typical
only way to
Borderlands.
fish.
Typical
But
Borderlands.
also, unironically, I think that's how people fish in real life too sometimes. Like,
With grenades?
Explosives.
yeah,
Explosives.
I'm not kidding. I think that actually is a thing. People will just fish with like just explosive fish.
Do we have the fish quest to begin with?
Yes, we do.
Or is okay? It's just not spawning for me. Cool. There's the fish. There's the fish. So there's 5 different spots that we have to
Oh no.
run to. We throw grenades, get some fish, and then there's a couple of boats that we have to blow up. So we're gonna. Last thing that we have to do in Trisha's Landing, aside from just get it again more fetch quest of just getting supplies from here, but last thing we have to do in here at least. It's fine. I might have missed on that. I don't know how many fish I actually got from that. I saw splashes. Guess I could have. Oh, I did get ammo. Cool.
To chat backing me up, they have confirmed that blast fishing is a real thing.
That's fair.
Appreciate it.
I give it. That's got your back.
Also included that it's illegal in a lot of places because it is in fact just throwing explosives into water.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. I mean, it sounds typical for Borderlands at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, not surprised at that part at least. All right, so we just have a little bit that we have to clean up in at the cauldron. West Commons West? East? That's always confused me that the fast travel names are different from the actual area names, so I can never get them straight. We have a handful of quests that we have to do in here. That I get to do my side quests now. And pray that they... That was some of the cleanup in here that we've been doing all over the place, that every single area has. Just doing it in here now that we have access to the area.
The fast travels have different names in the other game, but they at least included the map name and then the like where the travel is. For like Highlands Overlook. Or
Yeah, exactly.
Highlands Hyperion Bridge instead of just being
Hyperion Bridge.
Bridge.
But then you're in the Highlands. So what I mentioned earlier with the enemy that spawns, I'm doing the same thing here. I'm spotting a spread hack called Widowmaker that oh no. I entered my car
Do
too
not die
fast.
to Widowmaker.
I entered my car too fast. Okay, we're good. So because birds just don't do much damage to Widowmaker, Decept needs to kill the sledge with shotgun with bullets. So I have no help there, but I can at least, it's a long spawning animation, so I can at least spawn it ahead of time so that Decept can just come and start killing. We could try and squish it with our car, but our car will, Widowmaker has too much
your
health.
car will explode.
Our car will explode.
That's not a we can try. No, your car will explode.
I mean,
I guess you are trying.
I have still tried. It's just
Fair.
not been a successful attempt.
Yeah.
So, handful of fetch quests that I'm doing at least. Decept's doing a handful of kill these enemies quests, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, that's why I'm having trouble killing.
There you are. Congrats.
It all makes sense now.
Okay, over here. Usually I can run through just fine without having to throw anything and without taking damage, and then do the mission, then I can kill birds to protect my escape. Whether it works or not, to be determined. My health doesn't update up there. My health just... Oh, thank you, birds. I have 0 health. Cool. Alright. Yeah. Squish. And that's the last thing I have to do.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
And you can fast travel whenever.
So one of the skills that I put skill points into stuns enemies when Bloodwing hits them. So even though Bloodwing can't kill spider ants very easily, helps a lot with that fight.
So if anyone's ever had the question of like, in America we have New York and New Hampshire, what happened to Old York and Old Hampshire? Well, here's Old Haven. Answers that question there. Thank you, Borderlands. We're just coming here to unlock the fast travel, and then we're going back to do some other missions in here. So we're in the Cauldron. We're gonna finish. Literally, we're back in the area that we just came from. We're just in a closer area that we're gonna finish up the main quest, and then turn in one of the side quests. But just getting that fast travel ahead of time, so we don't have to, since we're already in the area, so we don't have to make an extra travel in here.
Only exists in Borderlands 1. In the other Borderlands games, they actually restrict your ability to access areas that you're not supposed to access yet early, to a certain extent, right? But in this game, you can go to literally any map as soon as possible if you can get there. But in a game like Borderlands 2, you might walk up to the travel and just be like locked out. It won't work. But we can use that in this game to get some travels a little earlier than we're supposed to.
It might seem insurmountable, but you can do this.
Oh, I'm late.
Late.
I'm very late.
Late. How dare you?
I'm late. Unbelievable.
How could you? Congrats. So, this next area is going to be the next story area, but there's a handful of side quests that we have to get before we can actually do the story area. So again, this is another instance where we're traveling here to get the fast travel and then going to do a little bit of cleanup. So Decept is going to grab the quest that we need from Earl. And then while we're at it, we have a couple of other areas that we're going to just simply turn in quests before we continue on with the story. You know?
I do no way, yeah? I found an explosive weapon.
You have an explosive weapon? Wow.
No way.
So here's some more cleanup. I'm just turning in the bounty board that's over here. And then there's a mini boss that Decept has to kill as well. A lot of turn-ins and you mean 5 quest turn-ins and then 2 quest pickups?
No, the sound that happens when you turn in quests, it stacks. They all happen at once.
Nice.
Like the first 2 work, and then the last 3 just all happen at once. It's great. Really nice on my ears, just like the rest of this run.
Is it better or worse than Vibrapulse?
I would rather listen to Vibrapulse than that. What I just heard right now. Yeah, you can go. What I just heard right now, I'd rather hear Vibrapulse.
A strong statement.
It's really bad.
He's not host for co-op Vibrapulse.
I run.
Okay,
solo
that's fair.
Claptrap. I know it's a little different in co-op.
It's so much different in co-op.
Wait, I'm the host in co-op. What are you talking about? No, all quest.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking on quest, you're right.
Wait a minute.
You're right. You are the host while I...
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're back to the
We're
story.
back in Trash Coast.
we're-
And once again, conveniently, the
Another
map is a
Y.
Y shape. So we can split up what we're doing. Which is exactly what we're doing. One side, which is where ZZ is, goes to the main story. And where I'm going is where all the side quests are.
And there was talk earlier about the different elemental artifacts. This boss coming up resists elements, so I have no element right now, just so that I can actually do damage to him. I have to remember to do that, otherwise it's going to be a much longer fight than it really should be. So Rakhive is a boss coming up that gives a disproportionate amount of experience, and you really should. So in the 80% run, I think we farm him in BL1 so that he gives like 50,000 experience or something, like a full level.
Yeah.
This late in the
It's a
game,
lot.
which is it's absurd.
Do something
that
like 5 or 6 kills of him.
I think it's only the 2 is all we need. We do like 5 or 6 of Skagzilla, but
Oh, right.
I think we just need the 1 extra to get the level of XP that we need to finish the run. So Rakhive, he's a bit of a long kill in 80% just because of how underleveled we are. In co-op, we're not, especially off host, we don't even see his health go down. He just kind of like dies. So that was, what is that, the second last boss in the game? And the story at least. So I'm done with that. My part doesn't take very long at all.
I think there's the guy in the place.
Oh, you're right. Third to last boss. The guy in the place.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
I'm laughing because my mind is going the same way and I don't remember Crimson now. He's in the
no.
Crimson
It's
Fastness.
the Crimson Lance guy.
It's the Crimson
God.
Lance guy. It's the Crimson Lance guy. You can't find the
That's
abdomen,
not
can you?
right. No. I haven't killed the queen yet. My knockback shotgun has knockback.
Oh.
Queen. Hold on a minute.
We should show off a quirk of that once the run ends.
I'm just gonna use birds for the rest of this, and hopefully, okay, I actually got the abdomen. We did it.
Nice. That like despawned one of the last runs we did. But he just couldn't find it outright. So good that you found it. So I finished my story part, and there's still stuff that needs to be done. So I just death warped to get back to the start. I specifically skipped a new use station so that I can, whenever I die, I spawn at the very start instead of right next to the boss, so that I can help and finish up some of the main quests or the side quests that are a bit more out of the way for Decep. So Claptrap repair over here. The quest that we picked up from Earl. Might spawn it. No. We might run into the... Yeah. Where did I go? That was... Okay. This is fine. Everything's fine.
My ears aren't fine.
It's fine. I think I'm just spawn locked.
No, you got
just-
it.
Did I kill him?
No, you got the spawn though. Now he's dead.
Cool.
Good now.
Cool.
You can quit after you turn in.
And I could turn in too. Nice.
No way.
It's the best day ever. So for the most part, we have Old Haven that we have to do, and that's more or less the rest of the side quests in the game. There are very little side quests that we still have to complete. There's still about like 30 minutes left in the run, I'd say, which is mostly just completing the story. But whenever it comes to side quests, there's very little left for us to do. We got a vault key piece, so we're going to Tanis. But then after that, it's mostly going to be mostly story missions from here on out.
Yeah, the last like 3 story quests don't actually have any side quests next to them. I guess, sorry, I shouldn't say they don't, because they technically do. But it's not like, oh, I'm going to do this one quest and then it's going to open up a bunch of others. That doesn't really happen.
Just up turning into Tanis, and I'm just here to travel whenever he finishes. And we're going to travel to Old Haven since we picked up the fast travel for it already. That's one cool part about at least hearing the sound effects still while you're in the menu, is that once I hear, I can travel. So, Old Haven here, we're actually going to do the quests in Old Haven. A handful of side quests in here, but these are pretty much the last side quests that are of note where we have to do a good chunk of side quests. So, we have some buried treasure that we're going to unlock, and then I think we're turning on power again too while we're at it, because inhabitants of Old Haven can't do it themselves or something. You're throwing birds, aren't you?
I can't even flip my own switch. Oh, did you not turn into the bandits? Oh, wait, that's a different class. Oh.
Oh, no, I don't think I turned it.
We need to go to New Haven.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
Also didn't turn into the guys at the start either, so.
Wait, no, we don't.
No, we don't. I just missed that.
That was
cool.
the quest we needed.
That was the quest. Whoopsies.
All right.
Imagine me doing that run, or my job.
I even left it for you.
I know.
Because you always want to turn in that quest.
I know. It's entirely on me. I complained so much that I couldn't do what we routed because he kept doing it for me, and because of that I never actually remember to do it. You conditioned me to not need to do it.
Stairs, please.
Oh, you can. That's fine. Stairs. I'm doing some of the side quests, and then the Claptrap rescue doesn't spawn until we turn in the main story. I'm gonna grab that once some birds despawn. There we are. And then I'm gonna turn in our buried treasure that we just got. Or at least the map to it that we just got. And then Decep is actually going to turn in the Claptrap rescue too. So, a little bit of a handoff there for me to start it so that you can pick it up. I turn it in. Oh, there we are.
Nice.
Actually, when can I travel?
You're gonna beat me, aren't you?
Maybe not.
No, you did.
Oh, to
I
the
wanted
travel.
to steal your travel. No, you go. Because you know where to go. I don't know where to go.
Good point. Luckies.
The classic Borderlands co-op experience.
You travel.
Classic. I don't know where to go.
So here is it. It's just a cleanup split section. We are just turning in quests that we've already completed.
Time for a nice relaxing drive.
Let's get our feet out of the dust.
You're going slow.
Oh, did you say a different dialogue?
Yep.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, so we got our buried treasure in New Haven, and the reason we have to clean up here is because the treasure's way over here for some reason.
Another notch in my rifle.
So buried treasure, it's buried, I promise. Can I quit?
No, let's just travel.
This is to Earl's. Oh, you do a different travel wherever. I don't say one thing, his
My brain
solo
said the
route
other
says
thing
this
last time.
another thing.
It's fine.
Fine, we do everything.
Yeah, as long as it gets done, it doesn't matter where we go first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess at least at this part, it doesn't matter.
I don't think he liked me.
And middle there.
Yep.
McLeod. That's his name. McLeod, because I just got to my notes. That's funny. McLeod. And then bounty board and outer yard. Hey. Hey.
Hi.
Watch it. Watch where you're firing those rockets. So coming up is going to be our next slaughter, the only other slaughter here, which is again going to be not nearly as long as any of the BL2 slaughters. This up has a couple of side quests due on the way, and then while he's getting to the slaughter, I have one other side quest for us to do. That I have to be careful about my driving here because I can't kill this guy coming up with my car. I can't squish him because then I can't get the mission item that he drops. So to be a little careful there. But there he goes. That's a mini boss. His mission item still isn't here, but you know, at least he's dead.
Game, would you mind?
Oh, there it is. Blue. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait here until this app gives me the go, because I'm gonna death warp over to him to save some of the travel time.
You can bleed. You timed going down like perfectly. I was about to tell you can go down,
Yep.
and then you're already down. And then
You
That was,
said that
I'm really
so
happy.
aggressively.
I'm really happy you didn't bleed, and then yeah, okay.
That was definitely my timing there. Yep, and not just the
no,
enemies
you were
that
just
were
good at timing.
not just the enemies that were punching me. Yep, I'll take all the credit for that. Thank you. So no, there's this one. Last time were skags that we were killing, and now it's bandits. That it's. Ew, why are there so many enemies out here?
Give him hell, Bloodwing.
What is this?
Honestly, bleeding's probably faster. Just bleed. Just bleed. Just bleed. Just bleed. Just bleed.
I had a second wind.
My birds will mind on their own. I cannot control my birds. Okay. I just throw them. They do what they want.
SMH.
Not
How
my
could you?
fault.
Oh, I have a hornet. Yo. Legendary.
Wait. You got a dove hornet? You got the hybrid infinity hornet
PLR
in
hornet.
a run. Okay. All right,
Do you
so
want-
completely useless to the speedrun, but for those
Do you want
for those who don't know, legendaries in this game have special like attachments on them that make them special. And in Borderlands 1, that attachment is not always the same. Like in Borderlands 2, it's always the barrel that makes the gun different. but in this game, it could be an accessory, a grip, and or whatever. And in very, very rare cases, you can spawn 2 like legendary effects on the same gun, and the Dove Hornet, aka what ZZ just got, is one of them.
You want one?
We don't know the real chance of that. We might know that. I don't know the real chance of them.
Do you want
it's
one?
Really rare. Very, very rare.
You want one?
Again,
'Cause
you can just
doesn't
make one
have
up.
Yeah.
2 now.
Doesn't matter for the speedrun, but
It doesn't matter at all.
for those who are casual players that know what I'm talking about, that's pretty cool.
Do you want one?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Bye. I think that was that the last side quest that we do?
No.
We
a Claptrap
do
Rescue and
Trap Rescue and the assault rifle.
Okay.
Yeah. One
Dove Hornet's
in
not that
100.
rare. Well, I mean, especially from the quest, but
1 in 100 million. 100
Yeah.
billion.
That's the
There we
point.
are.
joke.
Because
It doesn't
how
matter.
many there's
Very
how many
rare.
guns in this game? What was the famous Randy Pitchford line? It's like,
Wasn't BL3 like over 15 billion guns or something?
yeah, that many. One in that many.
1 in 15 billion.
Yeah.
There.
New Haven? Yeah, New Haven.
I was right.
And then completely unrelated, there's the infamous BL2 glitch here. Hey. Fine.
I'll get
Get
it
you
later.
later. The infamous BL2 glitch of duping, where you can take a gun out of your hand and turn it into multiple, was actually found in BL1. In BL2, you have to do it swapping really quickly and dropping at the same time. In this game, I did it just dropping the weapons out of my hand to dupe. It's way easier to do in this game. So now I have 2 of the really rare weapon. So I
Yeah,
think that's all of the.
we have 3
fast
side
travel
quests
hidden.
left.
Yeah. Nope. There's the fast travel menu.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna persist through multiple travels too, and it's not gonna tell me that I'm not in a menu.
You're not supposed to be able to travel while a player's in a menu, unless it's Borderlands 1 and you're playing
Unless-
Outpost. And
So
then
I'm gonna get out on the menu. So you're gone.
no.
That's a problem. You loaded to the game too soon, way before me, so I can't just drop something for you to grab.
Just drop it where the nade jump happened.
True.
The fragment is part of the key, not my dog.
Speaking of, I'm gonna buy nades. Hang on. Not that I can buy them right before the nade jump or anything. Anyway. But you're reminded. Oh, there's the car menu too.
The menus function.
Yeah. So again, more or less, this is going to be the main story from here on out. At this point, I think we have the vault key completed.
No.
No? Oh, Baron has the last piece. Never mind. You're right. So we're going to get the last vault key piece. I remember the story, I promise. But to get to Baron Flint...
We actually don't have the piece. And Baron doesn't have the piece.
But we have to...
Steel
We
already
have to
has
get...
it. Yada, yada,
Steel
yada.
has
We meet
it.
her in the vault because we're trying to... Okay. Doesn't matter. Story?
Yes. Story doesn't...
to
It's a
speedrun?
speedrun. Story doesn't matter.
What are we
And
doing
I'm not going to see the cutscenes anyway, so it really doesn't
Exactly.
matter. So Baron Flint's hauled up in his own little cave thing. And we have to kill some of his patrols to actually open that up. Hold on, yeah. Yo,
We get to play a
teamwork.
fun game of hide and seek, southeast.
I'm just going to let you find the last one. Because this is where I need to be.
I got it.
I have faith. I believe in you. Thank you. So there's 2 different entrances once this opens up. I'm taking one because that's closer to the side quest. Unless I go the wrong way. I might be going the wrong way. Going the right way. I'm good. There we go. Went the wrong way. Hang on.
You figured it out.
Yeah, I get there eventually. And the lack of minimap screws me over a ton in this game because I am very bad with directions and figuring out where stuff is. So the addition, that's part of why I really like Enhanced so much, is because I get a minimap that I can figure out where everything is. That does so much to the game for me. It's not even funny. So claptrap and bread there, and then an assault rifle first try. Hey, off those grenades. Off those grenades. Let's go. And then Decept joined me, and then this is gonna be the one instance where I'm quitting while the game's still running and happening, and this is for a specific co-op funkiness. In that once I spawn in, I'm gonna spawn in at the most active new use station. And that most active new use station is outside of an all players trigger. So I'm going to be outside of where Decept is, in a place that I'm not supposed to be at, because we're all supposed to be in the same area. So I am right outside the elevator when I'm supposed to be with Decept. So I can, where Decept is right now, if you were to jump off, that's a death plane. So he's stuck up there, but because I left the game and rejoined outside of the elevator, I can jump in a car and start driving to the next area. It saves, I want to say it saves like 2 minutes being able to do this.
Decept, do you still have your sledges?
Yes.
Can you,
go for
can you
it.
sledge this man?
I'll try.
Excellent.
Inventory full. Well, I don't need those.
So we talked about it a little bit. One of the features of Sledge's shotgun is that the pellets give knockback, which it's hit or miss sometimes. And the most infamous spot that it's used is right here in the ending percent run. With Flint, whenever you don't have birds, the fastest way of killing him without birds is using sledges.
Oh, I accidentally killed him. That is horrible. I was gonna try.
Oh, that's so sad.
I was gonna stun him and then shoot him, but I did too much damage. My apologies.
That's so sad.
You.
That's
So
okay.
because I was able to leave the elevator, I can travel right away instead of, otherwise we'd have to save quit and drive to the area that I just drove to. So a quirk with the co-op spawning that saves a ton of time in the long run.
Baron Flint didn't get to fly.
He didn't. It's so sad. If you want to see it, there's a highlight from GDQ. That highlights it perfectly. So I'm trying to do what he did, but my game doesn't like anything about this, so
Your game doesn't like anything about a lot of things going on right now.
We'll get there eventually. I'm up. We did it. I'm gonna be helpful here, I promise.
A very neutral statement. So right here, we are about to face a very infamous boss in the 80% speedrun of McLeod, because normally we are much underleveled, and he's very, very difficult to kill. Now, kind of spoiled with how fast the Flint fight went, but
not underleveled.
Yeah, we're not
Here.
underleveled, and birds do a lot, and there's a lot of birds, and so he's dead. Just how it goes.
Yep. So Crimson Fastness, this is like a tight corridored area that has a lot of higher level enemies in it. That, again, mostly story stuff except for one Claptrap rescue, which Decept is going to pick up, and then pending birds despawning. Oh, I could grab it right away. Let's go.
So weirdly, this map is actually a U-shape, and where ZZ is right now is the end of the map.
So
It's a
through that-
U-shape with a cross through it that allows you to just go to the end of the map before you're supposed to be there.
Yeah, so that went through that door is where Decept is right now, more or less. And where I am right now is going to be on the other side of this is the next area in the story. So Decept is going to turn in there. And it saves a little bit of time, just me waiting here, because we only have to wait for the one door open. for me. And then actually we spawn behind all these badass engineers are more or less mini bosses, and I just spawned right behind them. So it's a bit safer too. And funny enough, the door actually opened for me. Wild.
No way.
I know, crazy. So Crimson Enclave is next, and it's an infamous place in the 90% run, showing off something that we haven't really. It's prevalent in the 90% run and then prevalent in the solo wall quests run, and how much the game can't track quest items very well. It's very infamous that you can just, if for anything that you have to do 3 different things, you can just do the one thing 3 times and it'll count. We're not going to use it as much because there's 2 of us, so we can do 2 at once. So what we have to do is we have to activate 3 different consoles throughout this map. What we're going to do instead is Decep and I are each going to activate one, and then Decep's going to reactivate the closest one again. And that's going to count as all 3 individual ones. Which they fixed it too, but then it happened. You can do it in TPS too, so I don't know if we want to say that Gearbox learned from their mistake, but they did for 2 at least.
Yeah.
So we got 2 of them. And save quit, and then by save quitting it, the game forgets which ones were actually activated. Just that 2 of them were activated. So we get to do the same one again. Crimson Enclave, I could just wait here while the Decep goes. Difficult. Oh, I lost my inventory again.
You don't need it. Well,
Luckily,
you better not need it because you don't get it. Go on.
Okay. I have a Cursive Artifact.
Nice.
That happens. I have the Hornets too, so there's that too. That's the important part. I can't explain it. I just lose my inventory. Don't know what caused it. And technically I lose the tracking of making sure that we completed the claptrap rescues. So that's entirely on the host. That's entirely on host now.
Go.
So,
there you go. We activated all 3 transmitter consoles. All 3
promise.
of them.
We got all 3 of them.
3 separate ones.
So normally we just area travel into the back because that's where we need to go to finish this. But at the same time, it's a circle, so we can just go around in a circle and do it. So we spawn at the start because that's where the claptrap rescue turn-in is. And then I'm going to go back to the start to the fast travel while Decep goes around the back to turn in the story. So we have to wait until this quest finishes, and then we can travel back to the area that we need to for the story.
Hey, for me, take the bitch down.
Quest and then travel. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to have a quest menu open while you're in a fast travel menu, but
it does the same if you're in your inventory.
We'll take it.
Just throws it in front of you.
Yep. So all we have left here is just finish the main story and turn in the main story quest, I think.
There's one side quest.
One side quest we have to turn in, and that's all we have to do. So mad dash to finish the story.
A lot of running.
A lot of running.
There is no other required objective except for running.
So,
Where
was I going with this? So, at this point, if you're familiar with the BL2 speedrun, or the TPS speedrun, this is equivalent to like the Heroes Pass type area. This is just a mad dash through difficult areas to get to the final boss.
Heroes Pass, except there's 2 maps that are twice the length.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
yeah, it's just like yeah.
It's okay. If we had X and super speed, we could do both in 20 seconds. Easy peasy. So yeah, this is gonna be a lot of running. So
expertise mod for BL1. Dark Hell, if you're watching, get on it.
We have to run as Roland though.
Yeah, Roland only.
We have to. Only turret characters can do it.
You must reach the vault by any
Yeah, that's
we don't have a
that's something else. Is like in a lot of games, there's usually like one pretty good standout character. And I mean, in Borderlands 1, like, Lilith is kind of it, but all of the characters in BL1 are pretty solid. There's not like a real stinker.
And I say this every time I'm on GDQ doing a Borderlands game, specifically with Borderlands 2. Every single Vault Hunter is best at something in the speedrun sense. And then Krieg. So if you have a favorite Vault Hunter, there is a category for you that your favorite Vault Hunter is one of the fastest. So that's something that's, I think, super neat about Borderlands 2.
Yeah, every Borderlands leaderboard is separated by character. So you're not comparing against, like, you're not comparing Lilith runs to Brick runs, because they are different, and you do different things in each one. So they're directly comparable. And then Krieg's
the best. He's my favorite 80% run in BL2. 100%. He's so fun. He's on a different patch than all the others.
You and like one other person.
He's on a different patch, so he can't do as much damage as everyone else. So he has to do different things, and he gets different routing because of that. It's fun. I like it.
Question: do you still have your launcher?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Remember to not throw birds.
Yes, I remember.
That is a
Thank you.
legendary that just dropped from that Guardian. It's normal.
Nice. So that's two legendary, 3 legendaries technically, because I took the one into 2. You know, casual.
Easy. Again, has 0 effect on the run. Because we don't need guns.
Its only effect is ooh, shiny. For better or for worse. So again, this is just a big, I want to say like 2.5 minutes of just run through the area. The Guardians in this area give a very poorly scaled amount of XP in that we get a ton of it compared to just any other enemy. So in the 80% run, I want to say you jump like 3 or 4 levels just by running through the area and throwing birds. And I think comparable, I think we get like a level or 2 here. At the very least, our weapon proficiency, which, again, we're not using weapons, so weapon proficiency doesn't matter in this run at all. But as you get kills with weapons, you get more proficient with the weapon type. And our weapon proficiency is going really high from all this because we're holding a weapon. But, yeah, a ton of it. And I don't even fully get why these guys give so much XP, but they do. And very helpful for any person. Less so here. So, we're just about at the end. That's gonna beat me. This Alphos doesn't like my getting stuck jumping. Shadow Guardian. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll live.
Cool. Okay, so this is Vault. We're at the final boss. The run is almost over. And we didn't spam as many birds, but I actually have a cutscene here. That's so sad.
This is so sad.
Commander Steel, the influential final boss.
Yep. The character that we didn't learn about until about 10 minutes ago. She is the vault key. He's opening the vault, getting the treasures inside.
Get your team ready to go inside.
Never mind. So, Steel is not the final boss, unfortunately. You're wrong, Amy.
Oh.
Could you?
I've been bamboozled.
Very bamboozled. So, what we're actually going to do is Giuseppe's going to kill the final boss. And I'm just going to down myself. So afterwards... Oh, that might be downing himself.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Fine? Are you sure it's fine?
Don't worry. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay. So, this is a cutscene.
There's a cutscene playing right now.
There's a cutscene, promise. I promise. Watch Giuseppe's screen. There's a cutscene playing. But in the cutscene, I'm bleeding out.
You opened the vault.
So I bled out and I respawned because I died. but the cutscene's still going on.
Grab the vault key.
Grab
Grab the key. Yeah, okay.
So the cutscene's still going on, but I'm back in game. So I can grab the vault key and just travel out. Outer yard? No. Underpass. There's underpass. And we can travel out. This up's still in a cutscene. The game doesn't care. He just gives him out of the cutscene. So that saves
the cutscene.
We just skip the cutscene by dying during the boss fight. So we still get the credits, so we still have to skip out of the credits. But yeah, so one last trip to Tanis, and then one last turn into the middle of nowhere bounty board. And then the run's gonna be over. The time's gonna be coming up soonish. Let's try having. I can watch as he's going through the mini map.
I still love that the cutscene skip works.
Yeah. And we found it accidentally. I just died during the fight and was down during the cutscene. And was just in game. Okay, so you're almost there. A little nowhere. And time is going to be whenever Decept calls turning in the final quest.
Yeah. And then, of course, I have to check if we've actually done everything. But
and
that should be time.
I have everything completed. I can't check my backpack.
I have 42 backpack spaces, and everything's completed. And
awesome.
there we go.
Do you want a legendary? Here.
Yeah,
legendary.
I want a legendary. Thanks for the
matching.
Legendary.
We're matching. Matching. Here, do you want more legendaries? There. Oh, didn't mean to dupe that.
Look at this.
There we are. There's more of that legendary. More legendary. Here, more legendary. More equalizer.
Very cool.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
that's
guys.
Borderlands won all missions.
Borderlands won all missions.
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs
Look at that.
you want to give? We got time.
We got time. I mean, I'm just Action because he's our other co-op partner for our 3P all quests for Borderlands 2, which is a phenomenal run. I very much recommend checking out. So that Pentalex is the one that sort of has taken Borderlands to where it is now. All the stuff that we know about Borderlands 1 for speedrunning, he's kind of been the one that's done the most for BL1. Is up anyone you can think of?
I want to shout out you.
What?
Because
No.
that was sub 2 hours. And
That was sub 2 hours?
PB/world record.
Dang. Let's go. What a way to go out.
There
What a
we
way to
go.
end AIMBOT. What was the final time in game time?
Nice. Check that out.
Do you have the Sledge's shotgun?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you steal it from me?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Can I
Do you want it?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you wanna show it off now?
Yes.
Get down here.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Jump for me. Okay. Wait, come back. Do it again. I missed.
Okay.
Or you just die.
Okay.
We'll do it.
I don't have a shield because
You don't have a shield.
There you go, shield. I'm probably gonna die outright from this too.
Probably.
Still.
We're not gonna get a big fling probably, because we
Probably
don't do
not.
this often. But Sledge's shotgun. Knock back.
You can
know.
do it for co-op too. It just does a ton of damage, so it's
For some target practice.
there we are.
Gotta love that gun.
So that's what we're trying
yeah.
to do to Baron
Flint.
Flint.
Yeah.
That we just killed him with it outright because it does so much. It doesn't
Well, 'cause
look like it
birds
doesn't.
do too much damage and just. Anyway, that is all I have to say. So
Yeah. Well, hey,
Legendary.
congrats on the record, guys. Very good job, and thank you for
having us.
being here for the final show.
Yeah, all throughout AIMBOT. Thank you for having us. We love being able to shop Borderlands when we can,
Yeah. I'm glad you guys
and
got
thankful
to.
for the opportunity to do as much as we have. So I know you have some final words.
Yeah, of course. So that was it. That was the end of that's the end of AIMBOT. I don't have another show coming on. I'll actually be replaced by, and I did make sure to get the blurb from them so I don't screw this up. I'll be replaced by Smite LP and Emily Astor on the 27th with Arcade Pit, which is where two teams face off in gaming and trivia challenges, create art, and more. Chaotic and fast-paced content, and the show's been running for 8 years without missing a week. I can personally vouch for Arcade Pit. A lot of my friends have been on it. I think it's really fun to watch, and it's pretty speedrunning adjacent in that you have to like beat a game very quickly with a bunch of wild recommendations to do it. So, I definitely tune in on the 27th to check that out. And I just want to say thank you again to everybody who ever came on the show, submitted games to GDQ so I could, find new and interesting FPSs. If you ever want to pick up an FPS or a third-person shooter, like you should, I think they're really, really high skill and really fun to do. And, submit it to HotFix. There'll be a show for you, or submit it to, GDQ, and I can take a look at it for a mainline event because I'm also on the committee there. But yeah, I just don't really have that much to say. Thank you all for 2 incredible years. Couple announcements, and then I'll close it out for the last time. In honor of Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month, GDQ HotFix will be hosting a variety of Latin American and Hispanic runners. So tune in on September 16th and 17th for the Latin American Speedrun Showcase at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you missed this AIMBOT show and you're coming in right at the end, you wanted to see what it was all about, go to youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And I'm going to do a personal plug because I am a moderator in the channel and I can post links. If you want to see all of the past AIMBOT VODs, this one will be up on YouTube in about 48 hours. But I've got plenty of things there that you can take a look at. I've showcased every single Borderlands game. I've done, really wild things like Resident Evil 5 and 6. I had a Boomer Shooter episode where I did Quake, Eden, Doom. I did a Simulators episode where I had Mythbusters, Satisfactory, and Power Wash Simulator. I had a new Doom showcase where I did it was Doom 2016 and then Doom Eternal. First-person horror. I've done the BioShock trilogy. Not me personally. This is people coming on to show them off, but that all the runners that have been on the show have been so uniquely skilled at what they do. And if you want to speedrun yourself, you should do it. That's not I'm telling you right now, you should do speedruns. They're fun, they're really entertaining, and they teach you a lot of personal skills, because I learn a lot about patience, mainly. I don't get mad, I don't get tilted. You simply end the run and go again if you screw up. And I think that's a really important skill to have in life. So I don't have much else to say other than that. Tune in 2 weeks from now for the GDQ premiere of Arcade Pit. And stay tuned for Speedruns from the Crypt coming up after a bit of a break. So, goodbye forever, and see you guys around.